Filming in this new little backdrop we got going on here. My new record stand area, all different, but that's not what this video is about. We have landed in Orlando finally. The flight's not a good time.
Nope.
We're waiting for our shuttle and then we're gonna be at our hotel, which I'm very excited to do. So until then. So we arrived in the late afternoon on our first day and we headed straight to the hotel and we stayed in Aventura Hotel. Aventura was a very clean, modern hotel. It was right on property and it had free transportation to the parks. There was also the perk of having Starbucks in the lobby and I was able to get a coffee every single morning, so that was very convenient to me. And we also had a really cool view of Volcano Bay from our room. After getting settled into our room, we went straight over to Universal Studios for Halloween Horror Nights. Now this is our very first time at Halloween Horror Nights, but I will not share too much about that because that's going to be for another video. We decided to do the Stay and Scream, and this was the only night that we did the Stay and Scream. It seemed like it was just a longer wait to get into the area for Stay and Scream, and then we immediately waited in line for Stranger Things. Rather than every other night after that, we just went straight in around like 6:30, 7 o'clock after the park had opened for Halloween Horror Nights, and we waited just about the same amount of time. If you're desperate for Stranger Things or Last of Us, you definitely want to get there as early as possible, but again, you're kind of waiting in a line to get into Stay and Scream, and then you're still waiting in line for Stranger Things. So it really depends on what your game plan is. On our second day, we started in Islands of Adventure. Oh, my camera's already fogging up. We're a little foggy, look at us. We're in the fog, but in the daytime. There's Hogwarts over there.
Hell yeah, brother. I feel like the lighting is really bright on me though. We're here at Islands of Adventure today. We got here probably like, what, 9 o'clock? Roughly. We technically had early entry, but we didn't really do that because we were really tired, so we slept till like 7:30. And then, is it good? No,
I thought.
I was saying,
yeah.
Ooh, as in sleeping in until 7:30.
When you're at like Universal or Disney, that's like kind of sleeping in, but like
yeah, when
on
we
a
were
normal.
waking up for Disney?
Probably like 7, 6:30 maybe. I think 6:30.
I feel like you and Dad were waking up at like 6:30, and I was waking up at 7.
Well, because I was getting fully ready. Like I didn't really get, like I didn't do makeup today. Anyway,
we're having a nice morning so far. We started with Harry Potter and the Forbidden Journey.
Yep.
Which I like the ride and I like going into Hogwarts, but I was like really nauseous from like motion sickness, so we need to get some water. So if you have motion sickness tendencies, that one really was one that got me.
That one's more intense because it twirls you around.
Yeah.
Whereas like we just did Spider-Man.
Spider-Man was just fine.
And
like
it
I
doesn't
didn't
twirl
feel
you around, it just kind of shakes the thing
Yeah.
a lot. Same with Transformers, but yeah, it's still like you gotta wear the glass, like the 3D glasses, and it can be a little wonky to see the screen and then be moving at the same time, at least for me.
It was for me, for Harry Potter, for sure. But Spider-Man was really fun. I really liked that one. Is that the only two we've done so far?
Yeah.
We mostly just been walking around because like this is our first time here, so we're kind of just like seeing everything and not rushing through like rides or whatever.
We got, you know, all day today, tomorrow, and Saturday, so.
Yeah. My arm's starting to hurt a little bit. But yeah, so we're on our first like drinky drink. We got a lemon slush. And I got strawberry.
It's a spot.
We spent a lot of time in the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, kind of just taking everything in because there's so much to see.
Get the vibes with the bow. The bow. Okay. Okay.
Even if you're not a big Harry Potter fan, just being in Diagon Alley or Hogsmeade, it's incredibly immersive, and the butterbeer is really, really good. Especially on a hot day, like in Florida when it's like 90 degrees, it was just crisp.
I wouldn't call it B-roll. What did you get?
It is a mushroom pie platter. So I think it's like a shepherd's pie, but vegan. So it's got mushrooms and jackfruit.
Nice.
And a little thigh fat.
Nice.
We also had park hopper tickets, so we went from Hogsmeade to Diagon Alley by taking the Hogwarts Express.
We realized this might be a challenge for some, especially after some time spent at the Leaky Cauldron. Yes, you there. Please be careful when consuming food or drink whilst in the money exchange.
And we walked around Universal Studios a little bit before heading back to the hotel to freshen up, take a nap before we were going to hit Halloween Horror Nights again.
I'm just blocking the way.
We decided because we were doing full park days and Halloween Horror Nights every single night that it was important to take a break in between. And I do have an HHN video coming up soon, so I'm not going to spend too much time on this. Say hi. Do the Bartman. You don't know how to do the Bartman?
No, actually I don't.
Unbelievable.
Sorry.
The next day we wanted to check out some of the shows that Universal Studios had to offer, like the horror makeup show and the Born Stunt show. The horror makeup show was really funny, and it was also educational for those who are really into the horror movie genre and want to get to know more about the classic movies and how they're made. even just walking through the lobby with all the old horror props was really cool. So we just went into the horror makeup show, and that was definitely a must-do. Like, that was really fun. The knife one was my favorite illusion thing, because I'm like, how is he doing that? So if you're here, you have to go to the horror makeup show. It's only like, what, maybe 30-minute show?
Yeah, it started at 10:45.
Oh, so like, yeah, 30-minute show.
Yeah, about a 30-minute show.
Definitely worth it, and also it's air conditioned in there, so another bonus. But even if you're not into like the classic monster movies, it's still cool. So we're looking at like some drink time, maybe snack and drink time. So I feel like I look old like today. Oh man, do I look old?
I feel like I look old today.
It's the bags under my eyes from the lack of sleep, like enough sleep, and also I'm not wearing enough makeup. But it's too hot for makeup, TBH. But we're just vibing. I got to meet Bart and Homer earlier.
Yeah, that was fun.
They're over there still, but I met them earlier and took a picture. And yeah. And we just spent the rest of the afternoon riding rides in the studio side of the park before, again, taking a break, coming back for Halloween Horror Nights. Mean Girls.
Yes.
So, what did you think of Fast and Furious Supercharged?
That ride was terrible. Like, I don't even know what I can say about it. Like, I like the movies.
Yeah.
Ironically, you know, the Tokyo Drift bangs. But, you know, those movies are about fast cars, shooting guns, and being cool. And, like, they make a ride where it's none of it. You're just on a bus, and you're being escorted by everybody else. The bus isn't doing anything except driving. And it's not really driving that fast. And there's like 50 people on the bus. Not my favorite part of this. Probably the worst ride here.
Family.
It's all about family. Take a shot every 10 times.
Family. Family. I just don't remember anything from the books.
So I started a rewatch in 2021 and got to Order of the Phoenix.
That's usually where I get, and I forget.
I didn't manage. I think I got busy doing something else.
On our last day, we wanted to hit up some rides in Islands of Adventure that we hadn't gotten to try yet.
That B-roll footage.
B-roll footage.
B-roll footage.
Lots of it.
We like B-roll.
We do. Just hoping to get somebody coming around. Including some of the water rides. Just a warning, if you're gonna do Dudley Do-Rights, Ripside, Riptide Falls, whatever it's called, you're gonna get wet. I wore a poncho, but also I would normally not do water rides at this kind of park unless I was going to be doing other water rides, which we ended up park hopping over to Volcano Bay because it was included with our park admissions. Thanks. After a few days of walking around in the Florida heat, Volcano Bay was a really nice break, especially we get to hang out in the Lazy River, we did a couple of slides. They have this really innovative system called Tapu Tapu, where you get a bracelet and it is waterproof, and you just use it to wait for your next slide or ride in the water park without waiting in line all day long, which can be great, but also at the same time, it's not like we could wait for the water coaster because it had a 3-hour wait and you could only do one ride at a time, I think. We were really there only for like a couple hours before heading back to the hotel, cleaning up and getting ready for our last Halloween Horror Nights. Our last day was extremely ambitious and we ended up hitting every single park that day, starting with Islands of Adventure and then Volcano Bay and then Universal Studios for Halloween Horror Nights. So we got to do almost everything and it was really great. The only ride that we didn't get to do was Hagrid's Motorbike Adventures or whatever it's called because the wait was always 2 hours, and because we were out really late for Halloween Horror Nights, we weren't exactly getting up at like 7 a.m. to do early access at Islands of Adventure, which we could have, but it just wasn't worth it for us. But we managed to do almost everything else that we wanted to do. We had lots of butterbeer. We just had a lot of fun on our trip, and it was definitely a different kind of vibe for us considering we had done Disney together before, and with Disney, you're constantly going. You really don't get time for breaks because you're hitting every single park, at least one park per day, versus Universal Studios is a bit smaller, especially between Islands of Adventure and the studio side. You can kind of just hop back and forth, as opposed to if you're going from Magic Kingdom to Hollywood Studios, it's a lot more effort to hop back and forth. So I would say we walked around a lot and just kind of immersed ourselves in everything rather than just waiting in line for rides all the time, which not that Disney's like that because I take a chill approach to Disney now. Highly recommend Aventura Hotel. It was very convenient, the shuttle constantly going. It wasn't a long wait to get on the shuttle like if you were going to Disney. I do compare this to Disney because I've done both, where the Magic Kingdom bus, it's a long line just to get on the bus versus the shuttle. It was a very low-key hotel, so I think a lot less families stayed there, and it was just easy. You just hop on the shuttle and it takes you over to City Walk. From City Walk, you can either go to Islands of Adventure or you can go to the studio side, and it was just very convenient. But yeah, very clean, modern hotel. We had a wonderful time. All of the staff was great. The park was great. We had almost perfect weather. And I just can't wait to go back someday, maybe when Epic Universe comes out. So yeah, that was my Universal Studios trip, and I can't wait to share with you guys the Halloween Horror Night side of the trip. And until next time, make sure you like and subscribe, and I'll see you then.